introduce yourself?
Yes, yes. I'm working with one reputed organization since last 3 years as a front-end developer, and I'm working on Angular, JavaScript, and TypeScript. I have basic means good knowledge of HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap also, and currently learning Angular materials.
Okay, so what version you are working right now with Angular?
Yes, 10 version I'm using in my current project.
Angular 10.
Yes, Angular 10.
Okay, and do you know what is the latest version of Angular right now?
Yes, Angular 16 is the latest version.
Okay, so do you know any features of it? What they have introduced in Angular 16?
Oh, no, I didn't go through it. I just only one feature, that is you can use standalone components.
Correct. Okay. So do you know what stands for standalone components? Means what?
So I no, actually I don't.
So actually in Angular 16, we are moving out of the modules, ng modules. Okay. So
Mhm.
you have been creating the modules, ng modules in Angular 10, correct? So
Mhm.
the component you have to. So tell me, when you add the component in your project, so what CLI does for you? Means what dependencies it adds everywhere in the project.
Yes, CLI already registered the component with the app module.ts.
Okay.
If we have to use that component in another, so we have to just import the component.
Okay. So if I don't add there, then what will happen?
Yes, it will give error, and it will we can't use in another module.
So yeah, so there is the standalone component comes. Okay, so you don't need to
Hmm.
import anywhere. So you have to mention the component. When you create a component, it creates a template, then your style
Hmm.
and your HTML files. Correct. Three parts
Yes.
over there. Okay, and your app name, whatever component name. So there is a one flag they have added, the standalone true. Okay, so means
Hmm.
that this component is not depend upon anyone. Okay, so it will
Yes.
independently work, but for that you have to import the dependencies, whatever dependencies it requires, like common modules you might heard. Okay, so kind of those
Yes.
things we have to import at the component level, not the on the module level. So read about those because that things are in the trending right now. So mostly companies are moving from modules to standalone, so it is easy to maintain, so you don't need to write import export everywhere, shared module and all those things. Okay, so and apart from Angular, so any other framework do you know of the JavaScript?
Just Angular.
Okay, okay. So okay, so how you are dealing with a large data set in your project? So do you have any tables or something in your
Yes,
project?
yes, yes. In our last project, that is e-commerce, we
Mm-hmm.
have handled we have created the admin panel,
Mm-hmm.
and basically work on order module, and that order module contains all the entries which are means users ordered, and we have used mat table there, and also we have used that table that is already in there, that comes with sorting and paginator, so we can handle that with the paginator.
So your data set handles at the server level with a pagination.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
that data is already coming from the backend, so it can
Okay.
be handled with
So
the
data is
paginator.
coming in the chunks or it returns you the whole data in the single go.
What?
Data is coming to in a chunks, means if you have the 100 records, the backend
No,
is
actually
sending.
data, no,
uh,
no, no. The data is actually means whole data is coming, but while displaying is paginator works.
okay, so have you heard about infinite scroll in Angular?
No.
Okay, so note down that because that gets used when the
Okay.
large data set comes. So when you scroll
Hmm.
down, it get automatically loaded to the DOM, kind of. Okay,
Okay, fine.
so okay, so if your project is lacking very, it is taking too much time to load in the DOM, and it is taking too much size in the main.js file. Okay, in your
Hmm.
bundle file. So at that time, how you will check that, how to reduce the load time and all. So means how
Yes.
to optimize the performance in that case. What the steps you
Yes.
do?
Angular actually provides a beautiful service, that is lazy loading. Lazy loading. That lazy loading means we can loads the module as per our requirement, and that means if we create the module with a lazy load and that command, then means it will decrease the main.ts file, and probably it will decrease the optimization means loading time.
And how you will check that what modules it taking how much time?
Actually, in the means in the browser we have the feature like means we can check the time that how much timing it they are taking
Okay. And
by debugging.
how to check the component how much size it has been taken in the DOM?
So I think that feature will means I don't know means I didn't work on that, but I think that will be included in means debugging tool which provided us Google provided us.
Okay. So actually we have one npm package. Okay.
Hmm.
So the name of that is Webpack Bundle Analyzer, or you can search for the Angular Analyzer as well. So it will create a structure for you in the DOM to see what modules taking how much size. Okay, and what is the path
So
of
we
it?
have to install that webpack bundler in Angular. We are using
Yes,
Angular CLI.
yes,
Okay, fine.
yeah. So that is the one. So it will help you to check the what components, what is the size of the component each one. Okay, and do you know why we use a angular.json file? Means what is the use of it?
Angular.json file is it the file, yeah, this file is actually as we provide ngserve command, then it will help us
Hmm.
to load the our bundle files on the browser.
Okay. Any other thing? Okay. So when you write a new test case or something, so how it will
Mhm.
run? Means have you written any test case?
Because of that, I don't know.
Okay. So test case should be written for each component in Angular, correct? So
Hmm.
in your project, are you using the Sonar or something to check the code quality and all?
No.
Okay. So because of that, you are
So
safe.
we just write the code and push onto the git push on
Hmm.
git. That's why I means
Hmm.
I just didn't perform unit testing also.
Okay. Because the unit test makes sure that your component should work
Mm-hmm.
in the different situations. So that is
Mm-hmm.
why. Okay. But read about those because as your experience is growing, so those things are expected from you. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So now, okay. So do you know what is difference between ng on init and constructor?
ng on it and constructor. Okay.
Hmm.
ng on init actually a life cycle hook, and constructor is not actually part of life cycle hook, but it can be said as in one angular component. A constructor is basically used to inject the dependency. It is a best place to inject the dependencies. And in ng in it, that we can make API calls in ng it, so that the data will be available means at the of means starting of the components means.
Can we call the API from the constructor as well?
Yes, we can call, but it's mandatory to make constructor as simple as I didn't actually done that, but I
Mhm.
think we can call the API calls in constructor. What is the best answer for that, sir?
Actually, we use a constructor to do the things related to the component initialization basically. Okay, we
Hmm.
can call the from the constructor only as well, but
Okay.
ng on it make sure that the constructor phase is done. Now the lifecycle hooks method gets started.
Yes, and
So
one of the differences constructor is get called first, and after that ng on it gets called after constructor.
okay, and why constructor get called first before ng on it?
So it's mandatory to get all the dependencies
No,
before starting the
that is correct, that is correct. Okay, but
before starting the
why
constructor.
why the constructor get called first, that I must. Have you
Hmm.
seen your components sometimes? what you have written in your
Yes.
component. So when you create
Yes.
a component, then what is the type of it? Is it object, class, is it array or something? What it is?
Is it a class?
Okay. And if you
Component
written,
is a class
hmm,
decorated with the decorate means uh, at the rate component decorator.
okay. So still, why component? Why when the component get loads, why constructor get called? So you already know now
Mm.
the class is there. So if you know about C, C++ as well, so you can remember. See, when you create a class, okay, so
Mm.
every time your constructor get automatically get called. Okay, so it is
Mm.
not the kind of the Angular thing, it is the JavaScript thing. So anywhere
Okay.
you create a class, your constructor get called first.